Good afternoon. Let's now start. I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There will be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your face in the video. A reminder after the pep talk, please take the online learning com evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25 Olete certificates will entitle one mentee to a free voucher for RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please show your face in the video. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Pahabol. 1, 2, 3. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course on October 9, 2021, and starting October 23, 2021 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder. Here are sample courses shown here, and the health issue courses. May 18, 2024, this year marked the start of year 4. This is the 4th year of the RO Hoson Pep Talk, and this is our 156th Pep Talk today. So how long the Pep Talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. My Pep Talk today is entitled Rest. When do you say normal? I will be focusing on females. Okay, males and transgender people will be excluded. So the empowerment objectives for the lay people to have an essential understanding on rest, when to say normal as part of their health management. So when you have a breast self-examination or a doctor's examining your breast, when do you say that you have a normal breast? What will be the basis for saying it? The contents for this particular pep talk will be the following: when to say that the breasts are normal, what are the commonly known breast diseases, and when does one say there are no indications of a disease present on physical examination, when does one say there are no indications of a disease present on laboratory diagnostic procedures, and then lastly, does one still need a laboratory diagnostic test after a normal physical examination? So these are the questions that we will try to answer. Disclaimer, the R.O. Hoson Pep Talk contains R.O. Hoson's thoughts, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations, or TPORs, come from my personal experiences as well as from the writings of other health professionals. Let's start with the first topic: when to say that the breast or breasts are normal. The breast or breasts are said to be normal if there are no indications of a disease present on physical examination, at least, that's a minimum, and on laboratory diagnostic procedures at most. Later on, we will answer the question, kung normal sa physical examination, do we need to do laboratory diagnostic tests? So the breast can be normal if there are no indications of the disease. Sa physical examination lang, kung wala nang nakita, pwedeng sabihin normal na. Okay? Some people would consider other criteria such as size, shape, color of the nipple areola complex to define normality of the breast. So iba-iba yung mga tao, ano yung sinasabing normal is yung isa malaki, isa maliit, yung iba-ibang korte, no? So do we use this criteria to say that a breast is normal? So there's no such thing as the perfect or perfectly normal breast. They come in all shapes and sizes. Even on the same person, napapansin niyo, one breast can be of different size and shape than the other. So even for the same person, pwedeng the two breasts may not be exactly the same. Nipples and the surrounding skin, called the areola, can also vary in size, shape, and color as well. Nipples can stick out, lay flat, point up inwards, or at times retracted. Areolas can be light pink, brownish black, or any shade in between. So you might or might not have hairs. Sometimes there are hairs around your nipples and stretch marks on your breast. So iba-iba. There's no such thing as exactly the same thing on the two breasts. And what's normal for you can change over time, over a lifetime. Your breast can go through changes when you have your period, lumalaki ng konti, you feel medyo swollen. When you are pregnant or breastfeeding, and when you go through puberty and its flip side, the menopause. So they change when you gain or lose your weight. They change in response to birth control pills or hormone replacement therapy. Kung umiinom kayo ng gamot. If you are a transgender woman and take hormones treatment, you will have breast changes also. So again, when to say that the breast is or breasts are normal, our operational definition here will be the following. The breasts or breasts are said to be normal if there are no indications of a disease present on physical examination at least and on laboratory procedures at most. So this is the simplest definition that I can give. Okay, my own definition. Okay, easy to remember. No indications of the disease present. So pwedeng sabihin normal. Kaysa sasabihin natin yung isa malaki, isa maliit, may mga sizes, iba-ibang criteria. Ito ang pinaka-simplest definition. So since we're talking about no indications for a disease, we must know what are the commonly known breast diseases. A practical classification, again, this is my classification. I just put it this way. Congenital anomalies, okay, infections, tumors, and then hormone-related diseases. Okay, apat na categories, madaling tandaan. Congenital anomalies, infections, tumors, hormonal-related diseases. A note about hormonal-related changes will be the following. We will not classify yung mga normal na hormonal changes that occurs in a female's body, in the female's breast. This will not be classified as a disease unless may mga changes that are too extreme, sobrang exaggerated, to the point of being considered as a disease, such as gigantomastia, yung giant breast, yung pinakamalaki. No? Okay. So when we say disease, we define it as a functional or physical change, both functional and physical, from the normal state, and that affects the health of a person by causing disability or discomfort. Ito yung magiging operational definition natin ng disease. Yeah, yung hormonal changes, it will not be classified as a disease here if it's not causing extreme. It will not affect the health of the person. So example of congenital anomalies, the first category, congenital anomalies means present at birth. Number one is amastia. A means a or amastia or amastia. A means wala. Mastia means breast. So no absence of breast. Atilia means no nipple. May mount siya, may umbok, pero breast mount, pero wala namang nipple. And then the other side of the spectrum, so wala, then sobrang dami naman, supernumerary breasts and supernumerary nipples. So these are the reported congenital anomalies of the breast that have been published in the literature. Okay. So, amastia means walang breast. So, ito talagang walang breast. So, flat-chested. Babae ito, ha? Babae ito, pero wala siyang breast. Amastia. I've not seen one. Okay. So, Atilia, may mount siya, may breast mount, may umbok siya, pero walang nipple. Okay. So, Atilia is no-nipple. Okay. And then supernumerary breasts and supernumerary nipples are more common than the amastia and atilia. Okay. Here you have an extra breast here. So this you call that supernumerary breast. Okay. Here you have extra nipple here. O baka may maliit na breast yan. Okay. So you can call that supernumerary nipples. Ito naman, ganun din. Supernumerary nipples or kung meron siyang breast mount dito sa pangalawa, pangatlo, then you can also call it supernumerary breast. So although congenital anomalies of the breast are considered diseases, it doesn't mean that they must always be treated. Most of the time, we just do watchful waiting, do nothing, just let it be as is. You can go for treatment especially if you're concerned with the cosmetic effect. Okay? So treatment, usually cosmetic ones, may be done as indicated. So I like to emphasize that not all diseases need treatment, just watchful waiting and let it be. The second category of the breast diseases will be the infection. So these are the three more common known breast infections: mastitis, breast abscess, and then TB of the breast. Mastitis just means there's an inflammation. So there is redness, mapula at masakit or pain, but no mass. Wala pang bukol na to suggest an abscess. No? Okay, mapula lang at masakit. Kumisan may fever. Okay. So we call that mastitis. Then breast abscess, may makakapakang bukol na fluctuant. No, most likely may tubig, may nana, may fluid, may nana. Okay, so this is what is called breast abscess. This is in addition to the redness. Nakikita niyo sa ibabaw ng balat, may redness and then tenderness, masakit din, no? So in contrast to mastitis, sa mastitis wala pa yung bukol dito, wala pa yung pockets of pus. TB of the breast, not so common nowadays, pero every now and then may nakikita pa din tayo, no? Usually it presents like multiple sinuses, draining sinuses, may lumalabas na mga nana, no? Okay. So, in the acute stage, medyo mapula, parang abscess. After pumutok siya, hindi siya gumagaling. So, then after a few months, few years, meron naman another panibagong butas, may lalabas ng nana. So, these are called sinuses. Okay, multiple sinuses. So if you have this one, this picture, usually it's caused by TB of the breast. The other category of breast diseases will be tumors. And tumors can either be cancers or not cancers. And the more common non-cancer tumors will be fibroadenomas, hyloidous tumors, and intraductal papillomas. An important tip that you have to remember in palpating the breast, one has to differentiate between lumpy or humpy breast and dominant mass. Okay. So this shows the illustration of ito yung balat, ito yung sub-Q or taba, no, layer of fat. And then ito yung pinaka-breast proper. Usually yung breast proper, yung surface noon, hindi siya smooth because of hormonal changes, because of age, because of pregnancy. Okay. So humpy siya. Just call it humpy or lumpy, no? So wala talagang bukol na like this one, no? So this is normal, okay? So what we call that fibrocystic changes or hormonal changes. Pag meron kang parang ganitong itsura, mas maumbok on top of the uh, compared to the rest of the breast substance, no? So we call that a dominant mass, yung talagang bukol, no? So it's one that stands out and different from the surrounding tissue. So ito yung tinatawag na real mass, okay? And then it is a red flag because we have to determine whether it's cancer or not. Okay? Kaya red flag siya. Okay? Red flag doesn't mean it's automatically cancer, but it's something that we have to investigate now further. Okay. So the presence of breast pain but no breast mass usually point to a fibrocystic changes, which is considered normal. So we have to remember that because a lot of patients are complaining of breast pain. So unang gagawin, kakapain lang yung breast. Kung wala namang nakakapang dominant mass, most likely it's a fibrocystic change. It's usually due to hormonal changes. So normal. See? Now, breast cancers, how to recognize the breast cancers? You just have to look for the cues. Ano yung mga signs, alert signs for breast cancer? Number one, it must be a solid dominant mass. Solid means most likely walang fluid. Okay? Kasi pag may fluid, most likely benign siya. No? So kung solid dominant mass and non-tender, hindi masakit. Okay? Tandaan niyo, usually yung mga breast cancer may bukol pero hindi masakit, yun ang nakakatakot. No? Yung may bukol at masakit, mas malaking chance na benign siya. No? Parang if you try to recall yung breast abscess, may bukol siya at masakit. Now, most likely abscess, no? Ganun, or inflammation. Then, another cue for breast cancer is that if there is the solid dominant mass, fixed siya, hindi siya gumagalaw, nakadikit sa balat o nakadikit sa muscle sa baba, nasa ilalim. No? Another clue is that you're dealing with breast cancer is that merong skin invasion na. Nakadikit sa skin, no? Yung may retraction ng skin. And then, kuminsan, meron ng sugat sa skin at may bukol na rin sa skin. So once you have that picture, you're dealing with breast cancer already. Nipple retraction, okay? Kung at birth, normal lang yon. Kung may nipple retraction at birth, ano. Pero kung it's a recent one, and then particularly kung may bukol siya, no, then we start thinking of a breast cancer. Then the other one, the other cue for breast cancer is that if on top of the solid dominant mass, meron siyang palpable axillary lymph nodes. When you say axillary, yung armpit niya sa kilikili na sa same side as the breast that contains the breast mass. So meron siyang bukol sa kilikili, most likely lymph node siya, and we call that axillary lymph nodes. And if it's present together with the mass on the breast, we strongly suspect it's the breast mass is a cancer. So solid dominant mass, non-tender. Tandaan nyo, non-tender. No? Fixed mass, skin invasion, nipple retraction, axillary lymph nodes. So these are the cues for breast cancer. Okay. Now, cues for non-breast cancer naman. So, by elimination, wala sang cues for breast cancer. Wala ito, all of these 5. And then, especially if the mass is cystic. Cystic means pag dinidiin, parang lumulubog, parang may fluid. So that's what we call cystic. Pag may cystic mass, malaking chance na benign siya. So hormonal changes, as I said, will not be classified as disease unless changes are extreme to the point of being considered as disease, such as gigantomastia or gigantic breast like this one. Sobrang laki na, abnormal na talaga ito. No? Kumisan one side lang, kumisan two sides, both breast. Okay? The breast pain, I like to emphasize this because a lot of our Filipino patients are complaining of breast pain. Then they consult physicians, natatakot sila, baka may cancer. Okay, so this is how we interpret that. When you have a breast pain secondary to the hormonal changes, it is not considered a disease. Okay, so we don't call it fibrocystic disease, but we call it fibrocystic changes. Okay, pag sinabing disease kasi may sakit, but we don't consider hormonal changes as a disease. So we call it fibrocystic changes. Okay. So these are due to hormonal changes and therefore it's not considered as a disease. I want to emphasize it's normal. Okay. Again, when to say that the breast or the breasts are normal, remember our operational definition. The breasts are said to be normal if there are no indications of a breast disease, present on physical examination at least, and on laboratory diagnostic procedures at most. Okay. So these are the different types of breast diseases that I have discussed: congenital anomalies, infections, tumors, and then hormonal changes. When does one say there are no indications of a disease present on physical examination, at least? And then the other question that we will have to answer, when does one say that there are no indications of a breast disease present on laboratory diagnostic tests at most? Okay. We will try to expound on this. Breast pain, again, is a symptoms. It is not a sufficient basis to say that there is a breast disease. Physical examination and breast self-palpation done by the patient should be done. If on PE and self-examination, there are no cues for congenital anomalies, infections, and tumors, then the breast pain is most likely not a disease. It could be due to hormonal changes, or what I call fibrocystic changes, or non-specific pain. Okay? So when you have a breast pain, wala itong mga symptoms of itong mga indications of these various diseases, then there's no mass, and then we call that normal. Okay? So if on PE, walang cues for congenital anomalies, infections, tumors, regardless whether there are symptoms or not, such as pain, then the breast or breasts are considered normal at least. Okay? So sa kapa lang, kapa ng doktor, kapa ng pasyente or self-examination, kung wala kayong nakakapang wala kayong nakikitang samples of congenital anomalies, infections, and tumors, and then if you have breast pain pero wala namang bukol, then you can call it normal. Normal siya. So walang indications for disease, kaya normal. Okay. So corollary to this one, if on PE and self-examination, there are cues for congenital anomalies, let's say supernumerary, super nipples and breast infection like mastitis and abscess and TB, tumors, no? Then the breasts are not considered normal. So, ibig sabihin may problema, may sakit, no? Now, if on PE, on self-examination, one is not certain, hindi tayo sigurado, on the cues for congenital anomalies, infections, and tumors, then laboratory diagnostic tests can be done. So mauuna yung physical examination or even self-palpation, then physical examination, and then laboratory diagnostic test. Gagawin lang yung laboratory test if one is not certain on the findings. Kung di ka sigurado hindi sigurado yung doktor, ano yung nakita nila, no? Okay. So as I said, no indications of a disease present on laboratory diagnostic procedures at most. So if there are no cues for congenital anomalies, infections, and tumors on laboratory diagnostic tests, then again, the breast can be considered normal. But if there are cues for these diseases, then the breast are considered abnormal. So may sakit, may abnormal. Okay? Ultrasound and mammography are the more common laboratory diagnostic procedures than on the breast. So we will expound on this. If ultrasound shows no cues for a mass, then the breasts are considered normal. Walang nakitang bukol, then most likely normal. If there's a cue for a mass, then it could be abnormal. But it all depends on the clinician's examination now, okay, interpretations. If mammography shows no cues for a mass, then the breasts are considered normal. If there is a cue for a mass, then abnormal. Again, I would like to emphasize, based on the examinations, pwedeng normal, abnormal, pero uh, in the end, the breast specialist will have to make a decision, will have to also consider his findings to make a decision kung talagang tama yung ultrasound o yung mammography. Now, the last question that we'll discuss here is, does one still need a laboratory diagnostic test after a normal physical examination? The answer is no. If one is quite certain with repeated serial physical examination and self-palpation by the patient that there are no cues for a breast disease, then there is no need for a laboratory diagnostic test like ultrasound and mammography. One can just do observation to validate the normal physical examination and self-palpation. If in the process of doing observation, may pagbabago na something crop up, then you may have to change your diagnosis. Okay. So if there is uncertainty naman, because masyadong sigurado in the physical examination and self-palpation, then a laboratory diagnostic test is indicated. Okay. So does one still need a laboratory diagnostic test after a normal? Kung sigurado ka, then the normal, you don't need. Okay. Just observe. If there is uncertain, kung di ka sigurado, then you may have to do a laboratory test. So I have discussed all of this topic. Okay. When to say that the breast is normal, what are the commonly known breast diseases? When does one say that there are no indications for the disease on physical examination and laboratory diagnostic tests? And does one need a laboratory diagnostic test after a normal physical examinations? Takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on the breast, when to say it's normal. Knowledge is power. It gives power. Use the 4 Ks of patient empowerment: kalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions on the breast, when to say it's normal, as part of your health management. This ends my pep talk today on breast, when to say it's normal. I hope I have empowered you to have an essential understanding on this topic as part of your health management. Before we go to the QA portion, reminder, please take the online Learning Kung evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this one. The link has been placed in the chat box. And then obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a free voucher for our OHOS on medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. And then feedback, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So let's now have another group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video and show your faces. Okay. Ready? Get set. 1. Habol, Ellen. Wow, kompleto na. 1, 2. Okay. So the floor is now open for questions, comments, sharing of experiences, and also consultations. Pwedeng libreng consultation dito. Basta may clear lang. Okay? So, the reason why I thought of this topic is because as probably you also know, and in my practice, there are people who always ask questions. Normal ba ito? Normal ba ito? Na, ganun. Number 2, yung mga kung minsan may mga kirot-kirot dyan, breast pain. Sabihin nila, ay baka may problema, may sakit, no? So right away in this lecture, I'm trying to teach you. You just have to palpate your breast. Kahit na masakit yung breast mo, pag wala kang nakakapa, most likely normal yan, no? Okay. So the bottom line here, I just presented this topic because of the frequent yung mga concerns ng mga lay people, no? Okay. So any questions? Any questions? Sinong may normal breast? Okay. Sino pa? Michelle, ikaw. Unmute ka, Michelle.
Hindi
Ako,
po
Doc, may
normal po.
Normal na sa'yo. Nagkaroon ng konting alarm. Then, most likely, normal na siya. Di ba? Okay.
May question ako, Doc.
Okay, Susan.
Oo, di ba I came from, kaya ko nakita yung cancer ko was due to my annual physical exam.
Yeah.
Kasi religious ako doing it. So, na-remove na siya and ano. So, kasi parang I cannot trust yung touch system ko dahil hindi ako ganon ka-pro yung pag tinatouch na ganon yung breast. Tapos parang yung former ko, it was so small na kahit i-touch ko, hindi mo naman siya nakakapa, di po ba?
Yeah.
So will the mammogram and ultrasound will still be okay annually, ganun po ba? Or pwede naman pong kapakapa na lang kahit hindi na ako mag-mammo or ultrasound?
Okay, it's true that yung using your breast self-examination, which is palpation, basically, no, may not be able to discover a breast lump, no, especially one that is very small, no, baka hindi niya makapa, no, okay, or because of hindi marunong, sabihin hindi nakapa, no, pwedeng the size is palpable. Let's say usually yung size ng breast mass, mga 1 cm, no, dapat nakakapa na, dapat usually. So pero less than 1 centimeter, usually you don't expect anybody, any one being, even an expert doctor, to be able to palpate it. Masyadong na, okay. So pero kung sabihin natin it's of the size that is already that should be palpable, let's say 1 or 1.5 or 2 centimeters, no, okay. Kung di sanay yung kayo kumapa, so but if you miss it on the first try, no, but if you're doing your breast self-examination, eventually, no, madi-discover din ninyo, no? Okay?
Opo.
If you do it regularly, no? Okay?
Opo.
So yan ang isang the reality of breast self-examination. One, you won't be able to palpate yung very, very small, less than 1 centimeter, no? Kung minsan nami-miss mo because kahit na doctor naman, pag kaya nga importante may check-up, no? Okay, follow.
Opo.
Even the expert doctors, if it's too small, they won't be able to palpate it, no? Okay, so they don't give you 100% degree certainty, ay wala, no? Okay, so they'll ask you for a follow-up, and then when you go for follow-up, that's time when they will be able to discover that breast mass, no? So
Opo.
kayo, ganun din, when you do your breast self-examination, do it on a regular basis, no?
Opo.
No? So if you do it on a monthly basis, kung may nalaktawan ninyo, na-miss niyo yung breast mass on the first month, in second month, baka makikita na ninyo, no? Okay? Now, so your question is, do you do the screening? Di ba? May mga screening program, you do mammography, no? There's a recommendation, iba-iba yung recommendations, no? One would say just do mammography, no?
Mhm.
So wala pang nagsasabing mammography and ultrasound, tama? Ang
Opo.
popular is mammography as a screening for cancer. Okay?
Mhm.
Sabihin nila, it's better than breast self-examination. Okay?
Mhm.
It will be able to catch yung mga less than 1 centimeter early stage, no? Okay. Again, ang recommendations, it's medyo magulo pa rin, no? So one, the age itself, no?
Opo.
Would recommend age 45 and above,
Mm.
no? Or 40, yung iba 40, ngayon naging
Mm.
45, and then some would recommend 50 and above, no? Okay. So nakikita niyo iba-ibang recommendations sa starting age of screening, di ba?
Opo.
So it just goes to show that they're trying to come out with an answer that which one will be more cost effective, no? Kasi they cannot afford to do also breast screening for all women in the whole country. Sabihin natin kung 20 million yung babae sa Pilipinas or even sa ibang bansa na age 40 or 50 or 50 years, 50 and above, hindi rin magagawa yung lahat, di ba? Okay.
Opo.
They just have to see which one will be more practical to do, no? So ang sinasabi nila, yung mga may high risk lang, no? High risk for breast cancer, no? Okay. So high risk will be if you have a family history of breast cancer, then you can do it, no? Okay. Sa yung mammography, no? Okay. Okay. So but in the end, it all depends on the personality of the person, no? Kung takot-takot na siya sa breast cancer, no? So pwede siya follow the screening recommendation. But again, it's not foolproof also, no? Okay? So ang tanong ko sa iyo, kaya mo nagpa-mammography ka ba every year?
Yung opo, kasi sa annual PE yun eh. Di ba? Kasama kasi siya dun
Okay,
sa package. So,
every year.
mhm.
Okay, so it so happen na nakita, no? But
Opo.
in other patients, number one scenario is kahit na nagpapa-monthly, yearly mammography siya, hindi nakita, nakita na lang after 2 years or 1 year after, iba ang basa, no? Iba ang readings, no? Okay. Okay. So kuminsan meron din mga false negative, false positive, no? Okay.
Mhm.
So we also trying to balance that, no? That's
Opo.
an argument against routine mammography also. Sabi those who are not in favor of routine na annual mammography kasi maraming false positive, no? False positive that will create more anxiety on the part of the patients, no? Kaya kung minsan, binabalance lang nila lahat, no? Okay. Okay. Okay?
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, Gian.
Ay, good afternoon po.
Gian.
Doc, tatanong ko lang, kung halimbawa di ba sa breast mastectomy, radical mastectomy, may makakapaka pa rin po bang bukol doon sa pinagtanggalan mismo ng buong breast? Makakapa pa rin po yun? Ibig sabihin, meron pa rin po ba?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Basta pag after mastectomy, kakapain mo pa rin, na? Although ang ginawa sa iyo total mastectomy, di ba? Total means lahat, na? Okay. In contrast to those who underwent subtotal, no, mastectomy, so may breast tissue pa, so pwede pa rin kapain yon at kung may tumubo, dapat makakapa, no? Okay. Pag after the total, kung minalas ka talaga, baka may tumubo pa dyan, yung pinakamaliit na ano, no? Okay. Kasi when you say total mastectomy, it's not always 100%. Just like in medicine, hindi siya 100% accurate palagi, no? Okay, may mga 1%, 0.1%, baka may isang breast cells doon, may naiwan doon. Yung microscopic maliit na maliit, no? Kaya yung there's an issue na yung mga may breast cancer, yung iba gusto mag-prophylactic mastectomy on the other side, di ba? Walang bukol on the other side, no? So yung nagsasabi na hindi nire-recommend na prophylactic mastectomy kasi kumisan kahit na mag-total mastectomy ka, prophylactic mastectomy, there's no guarantee that there won't be a recurrence. There won't be a breast cancer appearing there. No? Ganun din. No? Okay. Pero mas maliit ang chance. No? Okay. So ang sagot sa tanong mo, kahit na total mastectomy ka na,
They're both in my area.
kinakaparin natin, no? And then hoping that we won't be able to palpate any recurrence na bukol. No? Okay? Pero the other breast,
Okay po, Doc.
kakapain mo
Thank
pa
you,
rin.
Doc.
Yung intact na breast, kakapain din. Di ba? Okay. Kaya kahit na nagpapa-ultrasound ka after mastectomy, in-ultrasound pa rin
Yes po, Doc. Thank you po.
yung operated side mo, tinitingnan kung meron kang mga residual na bukol, gano'n. Okay? So usually wala naman. No? Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Any questions?
Oh,
Who's Sinang si Betchis? If I may ask, sino lang si Betchis para I can... Betchis A05?
Hi, Doc. Patient niyo rin po
Sino?
ako sa thyroid.
Sa thyroid?
Yes po.
Anong full name mo?
May vet Manalo po.
May Bet Manalo. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Thank you for attending. So may tanong ka, Betchis?
Wala pa naman po, Doc.
That's good. Okay. Welcome to this pep talk. Okay.
Thank you po.
Okay. Sino pa? Normal. So alam na ninyo anong normal, ha? So Gian, i-summarize mo nga. When do you say that you have a normal breast?
So fast.
Kapag wala pong abnormal anomalies, infection, tumors, or mass po na nakakapa. Especially sa self-examination po.
Ayan.
Normal po yun.
Okay. Hindi, okay? Huwag mo i-compare yung breast mo with another person, ha? Malaki.
Pero kung meron pong mass, may bukol po, kagaya po ng skin po. I-share ko na rin, Doc. Gusto niyo po? Sa akin, ganun. Nakapako lang din po yun sa akin.
Sige, sure.
Kaya, then pumunta na din po ako kay Doc. Kaya ayun, hanggang sa nagtuloy-tuloy na po. Kaya eto na po ako ngayon na total breast mastectomy na po. Ayun.
Okay.
So, yun, Doc.
Okay. Okay, yung mga bukol, yung mga bukol, pag may nakapaka, na initially, you can say abnormal, na red flag siya. No? Okay. So, but you have to investigate it further. No? It could be benign or malignant. Kung malignant siya, talagang may sakit na. No? Abnormal na. Pero kung benign siya, at it's something temporary, no? Just like kay Michelle, no? Di ba? Kay Michelle, temporary lang siya. Hormonal pala lumabas doon. So, eventually, you can conclude that you're still normal pa rin yan. No? Okay. So, pero pag yung bukol, kahit na benign at hindi siya nawawala, no? Let's say fibroadenoma, phenoidous tumor, then abnormal pa rin siya. Pero kung yung bukol na kapang-kapa pero due to hormonal changes lang at nawala, kusang nawala, you can still say it's a normal, na? Normal pa rin yan, na? Okay. So, importante
Doc, pwede pa
ma-emphasize ito because a lot of times, no, I see a lot of patients carry with them for the rest of their lives thinking, ay, meron akong sakit sa suso. No? May sakit ako, may problema ako sa suso. Pero yung pala, wala. No? Okay? Pag sinabi ko sa inyo, fibrocystic changes, hindi sakit yan. Normal siya. Ha? Okay? Huwag niyo isipin, ay, meron akong fibrocystic changes, may sakit ako sa suso. No? Wala yon. No? Okay? So, okay, Gian, anong sasabihin mo?
Opo, Doc.
Ano?
Hawa po may bukol ka. Yung in-explain lang fibrocystic lang at tanggal. Baka kung once na, kailangan pa rin po siyang operahan na tanggalin.
Hindi ko na, medyo choppy yung dating mo. Ano ulit? Ulitin mo nga.
Ay, sorry, Doc. Ayan, Doc. Halimbawa, Doc, meron kang bukol.
Oo.
Pero sa findings, fibrocystic changes siya. Tapos, siguro baka kung halimbawa 1 month or 2 months, hindi pa po natatanggal.
Nawala.
Nawawala po. Sorry, Doc. Ayun, Doc, naririnig niyo pa ako.
Naririnig kita. Pag may, sige. Pag merong bukol at nawala after 2 months,
Yung,
halimbawa,
Doc, may bukol ka, pero ang findings, fibrocystic, kailangan po ba ipa-opera yun?
pag
Kailangan
sinabi ko,
tanggalin.
hindi. Normal nga eh. Normal. Hello? Hello? Naririnig mo ako?
Yes po. Opo.
Pag sinabi mo fibrocystic changes, normal yon. May pangalan lang. Na hindi siya talagang sakit.
So, kahit may bukol siya, Doc, hindi mo kailangan, doon yung bukol, hindi mo kailangan ito ipatanggal.
Basta kung normal, hormonal changes lang, no, you don't have, hindi naman sakit siya, so hindi mo kailangan patanggal. Okay? Okay, Gian?
Opo, Doc.
Ah,
Opo, thank you, Doc.
okay. So any more questions? Normal, no. We still have 2 minutes. Wala na?
Doctor,
Yeah.
yung sinasabi kasi ni Gian is fibrocystic yung findings sa pasyente, but still meron daw bukol na nakakapa. And then after a month, doon pa rin daw yung bukol. Kahit na fibrocystic, hindi kailangan operahan yon or ooperahan yon. But the finding is fibrocystic changes.
When you say fibrocystic changes, usually hindi siya talagang bukol. Nakakapa mo lang, parang bukol. Di ba? Yung drawing na pinakita sa iyo na lumpy breast, no? Siyan, hindi siya talagang bukol, no? Hello?
Yes, Doc. Opo.
Oh, kita ko ito ulit, ha? Sandali. Balik ko yung draw, yan. Ito, no? Ito yung, pag nakikita niyo itong slides,
Yes, Doc.
okay?
Opo.
Yung fibrocystic changes, usually hindi siya talagang bukol. Parang maumbok lang, no? Okay. So wala kang matatanggal diyan. Kung operahan mo, pwede, kaya lang maraming hindi mo malaman hanggang saan, no? Okay, pero usually hindi ino-operahan 'yan, no? Ito yung talagang may bukol, no? So usually we don't call that fibrocystic changes, no? Okay. Talagang dominant mass yan, no? Okay, may exception lang. Kuminsan, merong talagang fibrocystic na lumaking ganun kalaki, no? Tapos mag-isa nag-subside, pwede rin, no? Yung parang kay Michelle, no? Ganon, no? Okay. Pero when I say fibrocystic changes, wala talagang bukol, wala yung dominant mass, no? Ito lang, maumbok lang siya, humpy, hindi yung surface niya, hindi siya regular, no? Merong medyo maumbok, medyo itong flat ditong konti, no? Ganon, no? At kuminsan may masakit diyan, no? Okay? Okay?
Okay, Doc. Thank you po.
So
Thank you po, Tide.
importante to differentiate yung mass, no? Okay. Michelle, share ng experience mo. Si Michelle, very rare yung kay Michelle.
Ako po, Doc, nung dito lang pong June 2020, nag-worry po ako kasi biglang may bukol na ako na nakaka-4. I think mga March po yun. Pero nung June po, biglang lumaki. Yung laki po niya is as in nag-iba po talaga yung shape ng breast ko. So, yung takot ko po, nagpa po talaga kami kay Doc, nagpa-appointment. Yun lang po. After ng menstruation ko, nag-subside siya. Nawala na rin na po unti-unti. Until now, hindi na po ulit. Doon nag-ano naman po kami, nag-recommend si Doc ng prior ng recommendation po ng ultrasound and needle biopsy. Ayun po, sa needle biopsy, benign naman siya. Pero doon po sa ultrasound, meron siyang BI-RAD 4 po yata. BI-RAD 4 po ba yun, Doc?
BI-RADS 4.
Ayun po. So, okay naman na po siya ngayon. So far, hindi na po ulit lumaki yung bukol. Meron lang kaming isang follow-up kay Doc para dun sa, kumbaga, i-update po yung panibagong ultrasound para maibangga lang po doon sa last ultrasound na BI-RAD 4. So, yun po inaantay ko by Tuesday po yung schedule ko sa ultrasound. So
Okay.
far, wala na po ubo. Hindi na bumalik.
Okay. Okay. So to summarize everything, tandaan niyo importante yung i-differentiate niyo yung dominant mass saka yung humpy breast, no? Okay. Okay, yung humpy breast, humpy, lumpy breast, hindi siya talagang bukol, no? Okay, yan ang fibrocystic changes, no? Yung dominant mass, yan ang talagang bukol, no? Okay. Pero pag sinabi mo may talagang bukol, hindi naman all the time, as I said, red flag lang naman siya, not all the time ay cancer siya, no? So we have to investigate further, no? Yung kay Michelle, okay, sa 42 years of experience ko, no, probably mga baka pangatlo, pang-apat lang siya, yung fibrocystic changes lumaki ng gusto na to present as a dominant mass, no? Okay, mga 3 to 4 centimeters kapang-kapa, kaya natakot din ako, no? Bakit ganon, no? Okay. Kasi initially, we were treating her with as a fibrocystic changes, yung mga macrocysts pa, no? Mga ganon, no? Pero yung nagpatingin siya sa akin, biglang malaking malaki, no? Dominant mass, kaya ako na-alarm din, no? Okay. So kaya ako biopsy, then pina-ultrasound ko, and then nawala, no? Nawala siya, no? So ibig sabihin, ano lang siya, part of hormonal changes lang, no? Okay. So eventually, after thought, sabihin natin, normal pa rin na rin siya, no? Kasi we classify hormonal changes, basta wag lang siya extreme na extreme, then abnormal siya, no? Okay. Okay. Then the other thing that I like to emphasize is that there's no such thing as 100% certainty in everything. You have to observe, follow up, no? Check up lang, no? Okay. Babantayan lang, no? Okay. Okay? So, wala
Okay
nang
po.
tanong. Any more questions? Last call?
Ako po, Dr. Hosan.
Okay. Maria
Yeah.
Hostapolotan. Yeah.
Yes. Laba. With the case of my mom po, so she had inflammatory breast cancer. Kasi wala siyang lump. And nung lumabas yung symptom niya, apparently po, latter stages na yung cancer niya. So is there any way of detecting early inflammatory breast cancer? Will it manifest itself through mammogram, ultrasound, or not?
Wala. Number one, inasabi ko nga, in medicine, anything goes, maraming variations, no? Iba-iba, no? Well, hindi siya uniform na kung inflammatory, dapat ganito, no? Kung minsan, parang yung fibrocystic kang ina kay Michelle, may ibang presentation, no? Okay. So, inflammatory, usually, ang pinaka-common dyan, walang bukol actually talaga. Mapula-pula lang, no? Kaya kung minsan, akala mo mastitis lang, di ba? Okay.
Opo,
So,
wala naman po siya
and
karamdaman.
then, kaya you observe lang over time, during treatment, na kung lumalaki, nagiging widespread yung pamumula niya, no? And then, especially with her age, then wala namang clue that na may nag-trigger sa infection niya, no? Ganon. Then we have to investigate, no? So, kung sa inflammatory, of course, gagawin mo na yung ultrasound, no? Titingnan kung meron siyang bukol na hindi lang nakakapa, no? Ultrasound. Kung wala pa rin bukol at mapula-pula but we're still entertaining inflammatory cancer, iba-biopsy na lang. Iba-biopsy, no? Okay.
Needle, opo.
Needle or
So, at
section.
least-
Kung sa balat, usually is a section biopsy yung balat, no? Okay. Yung mother mo na biopsy, hindi na, no?
Hindi na po, because it was,
Oh,
wala na.
obvious na.
100%.
Okay, pag
But
obvious na.
so kung medyo early po na ganon, so it will manifest itself sa biopsy, makikita.
Oo, pwede. Oo.
Okay.
Kung mapula at
At least, yes.
we have hindi natin masyadong kino-consider yung mastitis, no? Then we do a biopsy.
Mhm.
Then kung biopsy turn out to be inflammatory cancer, then kung maliit-liit pa, pwedeng operahan pa, di ba? Kung maliit pa, no?
Mhm.
Okay. Kung malaki-laki na, baka chemo na, radiation, gano'n, no?
Yes po.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Okay? So there are no more questions. We will call it a day. It's already 3:05 now. So thank you for attending. We'll see each other next week again. Okay. Ang next week will be breast cancer. When to suspect. When to suspect naman. No? Okay. Ngayon we talk about breast. When to say it's normal. Okay. Next week with when to suspect the presence of breast cancer. Okay. Okay.
Thank you po.
Thank you po,
you.
Doc. Sorry.
Bye.
Happy
Thank you
weekend.
po, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Pote Beth.